everyone, welcome back to my channel if you are a returning subscriber, or welcome if you are new. My name is Ellie and I recently completed Disney's Cultural Representative Program in the years 2018 to 2019. This is basically a program where you get to live and work in Walt Disney World, in Epcot for a year, and represent your country at the same time. I obviously worked in the United Kingdom pavilion, I worked over in the Rose and Crown. Last week I spoke about rejection, and the week before I spoke about congratulations when you get in and what you then need to do. This week I'm going to be speaking a little bit about housing. Now, you don't need to make your housing decision until, I don't know, I think it's about 2-3 weeks before you even get there, before your start date, so you do have a lot of time to think about what housing you would like to stay in. You get to put in a preference, so you basically get a whole list and it'll be like Chatham Square, 8 people, 4 bedroom. I want that as number 1, and you have to go through all of them and label them 1 to, let's say, 20, for example. I was very unfortunate. The one that I put at the bottom was the one that I got. I stayed in a 3-person, 1 bedroom, so we had a bunk bed, so that was unfortunate, but you know, that is the way it happens. Some people get their first option. So you get told what housing you're going to be staying in a couple of weeks before you arrive. I think it's a week before, exactly a week before, just so you know where you're going to be going when you have to check in. You don't find out what type of room you have until you physically get into the apartment though, so that's a little bit scary and super exciting at the same time. I get a lot of questions about my roommates, how I found my roommates. You do have the option to put down that you'd like to stay with someone if you know someone with the same arrival date as you. So for example, if you knew someone from the UK that had the same arrival date as you and you wanted to be their roommate, you can put that down as preference. I didn't really know anyone crazy well, and because I was under 21 I had to live in a different apartment, so all the people in my arrival date I couldn't put down anyway because they were all over 21. But the people in my apartment, I had a German roommate, Chinese, Norwegian, so they alternated. I had people that left and went elsewhere and stuff. That's why I ended up with 3. But yeah, I just sort of arrived and they were there and that was it. That was my roommates. A lot of people asked me how I found them, but I didn't. That was just the way it was. I was just put with them, if you will, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. So depending on what kind of apartment you stay in, it is a different price. So for example, if you stayed in an apartment that was 1 bedroom with 2 people, that's going to be more expensive than something that I was living in, 1 bedroom with 3 people. All of your bills, so like your water, electricity, Wi-Fi, all of that is included in your bills. You don't have to worry about that. Your housing payment it includes all of that. Payment for housing comes directly out of your Disney paycheck, so you don't even have to worry about paying it. You just know it comes out every single week, which is really easy and great for you because you don't even have to worry about paying it. There is security on each of the housing complexes. They are there to basically not guard you all, but to keep you all safe. That's the whole purpose of security, is to make sure that nobody gets in that you wouldn't want getting in, and yeah, and just to make sure that you guys are following the rules. Like for example, after 2 AM, someone who lives in a different complex can't come into a different complex. You have to be in your own complex. You obviously can leave and come into your own complex after that time. They're not that crazy, but you just can't have someone from a different complex come into your complex after 2 AM. This just stops like parties and stuff. There is inspections that happen. They say it happens every 2 to 3 months, but I think I maybe had 2 the whole time I was there. You just have to make sure everything is clean, tidy, the bins have been taken out. They give you a whole list when you get there of everything that needs to be done. They don't just throw a complete blinder. You will know roughly what needs to be done. They will also tell you that inspections will be being done in a time frame. So it's not going to be just, hello, we're going to turn up and check your apartment now. No, they do give you a time frame, and once they've been in that time frame, they then won't come again, which is really good, so you can relax. I really recommend that you do quite a lot of research. I'm going to talk about a few of my personal pros and cons from some of the different housing complexes, but there is so much stuff online, I can't tell you enough. There's so many bedroom tours and full pros and cons, full videos on each complex, and that's what I did leading up to mine. I just watched so many videos and worked out which one I wanted to stay in the most. I think I wanted to stay in Commons the most, and Chatham Square, and I ended up in Chatham Square, so I am going to talk about Chatham Square first because it's where I stayed. I stayed there for the whole of my program. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a nice little complex. Where I lived was really close to the bus stop. It was really close to the front of security. It was maybe a 3-minute walk to the pool. The garbage was really close by, so the mailbox. It was, yeah, it was in a good place. I enjoyed living there. I had good roommates. I literally have nothing to complain. One of my favorite things, sorry, I'm reading. I'm reading from my notebook of notes. One of my favorite things about living at Chatham was that on the way to work, so on the way to the Epcot bus, you were the first stop, so that meant that you pretty much always got a seat. However, that does mean the journey was a lot longer. It could take 45 minutes to an hour to get to work, but it was also the first stop on the way home. So if you were tired after a long day at work, you knew you were going to be the first person to get home. We had the best gym. I personally did not go to the gym, but I have heard the gym is great. Mickey's Cast Retreat is literally just outside, so this is a place you can go and play volleyball, play football, just go and relax. It's a really cool place. They host majority of the housing events at Chatham Square, which is really great, especially for like welcome events. It's a really good way to meet other people, to meet other cast members, especially people on like the Disney College program. You tend to meet a lot of people from different CRPs because you all tend to go to work in the same place, whereas you don't meet a lot of people from different areas, so that's a really good way to do that. It's about a 10-15 minute walk to Walgreens and Publix. Now, I didn't always get the bus to Walmart because I found it really difficult to do all of my shopping and then carry it home and have like all these heavy bags, and like I'd have milk, I'd have frozen stuff, and it would just be really frustrating to try and get it all home. So I'd either get Uber home, or what I'd do is I'd walk to Publix and I wouldn't buy as much, and then I'd just get an Uber home with like a couple of bags of shopping. I'd go to Walgreens as well to get like all of my hygiene stuff, like all the boring necessities. That was a really good place to go get stuff like that. Now, Commons, it was one of my other top 2 choices. It's really close from Chatham Square, probably like a 10-minute walk if you take it slow. So it does benefit from everything at Chatham Square because you can hop between the two. There's nothing stopping you from walking to Chatham Square to use the gym, to use the pool. Like, there's literally nothing wrong with that. One thing I did find about Commons was that I felt like most people lived there, so everyone else in my rival group, they lived at Commons. Most people on the CRP tended to live at Commons. If you ask someone, I always expect them to say, yeah, I lived at the Commons. So I did get a bit of FOMO with that, but I found my own like personal comfort in Chatham Square. The outlets, they are right opposite the Commons. Literally the car park is, they're literally like this, over the road. But like I said, Chatham Square, take you 10 minutes to walk. I'd always walk to the outlets from my apartment. But yeah, it was great that it was so close because you could always go get food there. Majority of the apartments in Commons actually have washing machines inside the apartment, which is amazing. At Chatham, the washing machines were outside of the apartment, which is fine. I had no issue with this, but I felt like I would put off doing my washing for ages, and then I would go and I'd have so much to do. I'd have to sit and do it for hours, and if you're paranoid about people stealing your stuff, like, you might have to sit with the washing machine for ages. I never did that, but some people might do, and that's completely fair. So having a washing machine and a tumble dryer in your apartment is so much easier. I envy anyone that did, because you can just do your washing whilst you're pottering around the house or when you go to bed or something, instead of staying up until midnight doing your washing, which, let's be real, is probably my own fault, because I didn't keep on top of it enough, and I'd keep all of my costumes at home. But there's a convenience store inside Commons, so you can get snacks, you can get, yeah, mainly just snacks. But yeah, that's really helpful if you are desperate for like milk and stuff. For me to get milk, I'd have to go all the way to Walgreens or Publix or something. It is really handy to live at Commons because you literally walk past it no matter where you go in. Commons is right there. Again, you can walk to Publix and Walgreens from Commons. It'll probably add on another 10 minutes to your journey, but if you're Ubering and stuff, it's super easy. my last thing about Commons is that it is a huge complex. I don't know how many people live there, but I can only imagine it is a lot, because yeah, that thing is huge. It could take you 20 minutes to walk from one side to the other, and the hub, like where you get the bus in the Commons, is directly in the middle, so if you're all the way out here, it could take you 10 minutes to walk to the bus. So Patterson Court is going to be the newest of all of them, so I can imagine that all of the furniture and stuff is quite new and quite clean. I only went to Patterson Court a couple of times, but I've heard that the pool is amazing. The only thing is about Patterson is that a lot of the buses don't really go there. The Epcot bus didn't even go there, so if you lived at Patterson you would have to walk to Chatham. It literally takes 5 minutes. It's nothing dramatic, but you know, that is something that you should definitely bear in mind. The final complex is going to be Vista Way. Now, Vista Way is kind of controversial for me because it is the oldest complex, so a lot of it is quite run down. Like, you can tell that the furniture is old and the kitchens are old and stuff like that. But there's no bunk beds. Not a single bunk bed in Vista Way. And I feel like the old stuff would be worth it just to not have a bunk bed. The way home is the last stop from Epcot, so it can take a long time to get home, which can be kind of frustrating if you've had a long day at work and you are really tired, for example, and you do just want to get home. It is the last stop on the way to work as well, so a lot of the time the bus would be so busy at this point, especially if you're working in the morning, for example, everyone trying to get there for the World Showcase opening at 11. It would be more often than not that you wouldn't get a seat on the bus. Usually people would get on at Vista and you wouldn't be able to sit down, which is fine because Vista is so close to Epcot. It takes 10-15 minutes to get there. The main good thing about Vista Way, apart from the no bunk beds, is that there's a Chick-fil-A and Wendy's literally right outside in walking distance, less than 5 minutes. And there's a Walgreens. So that's pretty much my personal pros and cons of each complex. If I had to pick again, I still don't know what I would pick. I love living at Chatham, but I think I'd want to live in Commons near all my friends. But Patterson is the newest, but Vista guarantees no bunk beds. I recommend doing a lot of research, looking at everything online. I know there's a lot of websites that link all the different prices and stuff, so definitely have a look on there because they can give you more information. Of course, there is a new housing complex being opened called Flamingo Crossings. This is going to be primarily for Disney College program participants, but definitely look into it because it looks amazing, and I can only hope that going forward all the other Disney housing complexes will be as amazing as this one. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. I've only got a couple of videos left in this series now, so put anything down below that you would like me to talk about or message me over on Instagram. It's just going to be at Ellie Brown. See you next time.